Alright guys, so I ended up getting 95% of the intercooler piping done. Got the 90 here, got a reducer there, comes down, got a 90 there, comes around to the intercooler here, and on the other side, comes off, the Turbo J pipe goes down. And then I need one more coupler so I can make this less awkward. Other than that, it's pretty close intercooler wise. Sorry for the smoke on the screen. But yeah, I guess I saw the other day, got the throttle cable working. I actually mailed off my harnesses today. Should be sending off my drive shaft soon as well. Need to still run fuel lines, need to get the heater core hoses figured out. I need to figure out how I'm going to do the power cables for the alternator and the starter. As on the VQ, they were both on the same side, now they're on opposite sides, so I might trim down the original power cable from that side just so I can use it on the alternator over there. And then I might probably run another cable for the starter for the power. And then, yeah, once I get the harness and the drive shaft, just get fluids and all that, and it should be pretty well ready to start. So these actually came with my radiator. I'm not sure how well they're gonna do, but I will probably end up upgrading them to some higher CFM pushing fans. My son's going nuts on his old ass Razor scooter. Yeah. What is that? Scooter. But I had to trim some of the edges so I could get the fan to fit a little better. Like I said, they probably are not going to do the best as far as cooling goes, but these are only temporary, just so I can at least drive the car around a little bit once I get my harness back in the next like 2 weeks. I also did go and buy a new tank for my vape, TFV8 at Star Mountain Vapor. So if you guys are in the area, check them out if you're into vaping and stuff. But yeah, it's getting there. Like I said, just still waiting on my harness, and drive shaft should be getting picked up tomorrow or Tuesday from UPS, and that's going to dynamic drive lines to get shortened. And yeah. What's up again, YouTube? So today I'm going to be going to buy my fuel lines so I can run them for the JZ. I've also got a buddy coming over to buy these headers. He's doing a VG swap in his Miata, and apparently he can use those exhaust manifolds. So we'll check in again here in a little bit. All right, guys. So we're over here at this shop, and it's basically a muscle car heaven. I actually came to get a fitting for my fuel lines, so I can run a hose instead of running, you know, a fitting instead. But this place is insane. There's literally everything in here. Like I said, it's like a muscle car heaven, LS stuff, V8 stuff everywhere. You know, pretty much everything you could ever need for an American V8, typically, you know, you find in this place. It's pretty nuts. Fuel cell. I'm actually going to get a fuel cell for my Z at some point. When I tube my rear end. Yeah, they've got just about everything. And they actually do sell exhaust piping, which is great. So I'm going to come back and get some of that as well. And they actually sell Redline oils on the other grill over there. So that's pretty cool as well. Probably get some of that for my transmission. Yeah, this place is pretty awesome. You know, they got exhaust manifolds and all kinds of shit. All right, so I got my fittings from that store, so I can run the fuel line. I got the clamps, obviously the fuel pump, and I kind of run it around out through underneath the car, back up to the left-hand side. So let's get it doing. All right, guys, so I had to go and buy some Teflon tape so I can seal up the fittings on those lines. But I did run them, and it might be hard to see, but they are connected down there. Both lines are connected, so those are pretty good to go. Just have to, like I said, I have to Teflon tape those ones in the back so that the fittings don't leak, and yeah. All right, so now that I got the fuel lines installed and how I want them, I can reinstall this cover. You know, just gotta plug it back in. Make sure it's nice and tight. Whatever else, other random stuff out of there. And, get that back on. And just have to turn these guys, which they're a pain. If any of you have ever dealt with these, they suck. But try and get them. There's that one. The problem with them is that they strip out if you use a screwdriver. So I tend to use something like this just so I can try not my best to not strip them. There it is. Boom, done. So yeah, like I was saying, fuel lines are fully installed now. The one thing I do need to do is I need to get some little brackets so I can hold them up off of the transmission and all that. But you can kind of see down there, you know, they're all connected. It's really hard to tell what's going on, but they are connected to the engine, so fuel lines are good to go.
Yay, recording!
So I'm working on putting in the new oil into the 1J. I already took off the stock oil filter. It was a pain. I actually had to use a screwdriver and an extension to break it loose because you can't really fit anything in here tool-wise. Even oil filter wrench, it sucks because there's no room at all. But I did get the new one on. I already threw away the old one, and I'm about to go underneath and open up the drain plug, and I'm actually going to pour about a half a quart of oil through the motor, just so it kind of cleans out anything that may have been in there, just to get whatever remnants of old oil might still be left in there, and yeah, give it a good rinse out. So we'll do that.
Okay.
There's the drain plug. It's clean. There's no, you know, nasty chunks or anything on it. A little bit of oil, but you know, they do drain these engines when you get before they send them. Otherwise, it does produce a I guess a hazardous or a hazard if you know, the oil pan were to break on the truck or anything like that. So.
Yeah, except the transmission fluid.
Yeah, except for the transmission fluid, apparently, because whenever I pulled the transmission off and we pulled the motor off of the pallet, and it just leaked transmission fluid everywhere. So
At the storage unit.
Yeah. So like I said, I'm gonna pour about like, I don't know, half a quart or so, a third of oil in, just so it gets a good, you know, rinse.
Rocky. Go away.
Yeah, according to the FSM and all that, the 1J does take 5.1 quarts, so this is actually a 6 quart, so I'm just kind of, you know, using a good little bit of it just to get some of the old oil that's left in there out. As you can see, it's still pretty dark. So just trying to get most of that out before we put the new oil in. Yeah. So I went to install the drain plug back, and literally every single thread that holds the drain plug into the oil pan is gone. And I don't know how, because there were no threads on either end sitting inside the oil pan or on the drain plug itself. So I'm really not sure what happened. Maybe it was just sitting in there just right to where when I pulled it out, it just, I don't know how they had it in there or what, but it was definitely not my doing because I was very careful doing it. So now what I'm gonna have to do is tomorrow I'm gonna have to get a tap and die set, and I'm gonna have to rethread that oil pan drain hole so I can put a new bolt in there so I can close up my oil pan.
Okay, explain what just happened.
So apparently the size for the drill bit is actually quite a bit smaller than the tap itself.
Like they're supposed to be.
The drill bit kind of just...
You know.
Hey girl! Look, she's dripping. So I'm gonna go ahead and open the tap, or the tool for the tap, and yeah, start tapping.
Alright, moment of truth.
Bolt does go in.
Yes.
Very well.
But it goes in. So Josh, you have a long bolt, huh? Yeah?
For those of you who don't know, that is my wife taking video right now.
Okay, second moment of truth. Is it gonna seal with oil in it?
Just pouring a little oil to test.
Oil in it.
See if it's actually gonna hold the seal.
I don't see nothing.
That spot was already on the ground.
Nah.
That's all the threads the top pulled out, so that's good. Not inside the oil pan. It's pretty dry to me.
And that is a win.
Alright guys, so glad I got that figured out. Although I am going to trim the bolt down because it's really long. But Isaiah is going to be heading back to the States in the next couple of days, and we've got a lot of stuff to do on his car. We got to put a new starter on before we can do anything else because his starter went bad right before we put his car in storage. You know, he's got a whole slew of parts as well for his G35, and yeah, it's going to be a pretty fun next couple of weeks. You know, getting the JZ running, getting Isaiah's G35 up and going again, getting all his new parts installed. Yeah, we're planning on going to the Musselman Honda Circuit for the Sunday Slide event. I think it's December 3rd. Yeah, lots of good things to come, so I guess just keep watching if you like this stuff, and we appreciate you guys, and yeah, like, comment, subscribe, and just thanks again.